everyone, and welcome to a new edition of Egypt Can. Today we're going to find out how really Egypt can through its soft power, through education, as Egypt nowadays is adopting a very strategic and ambitious plan to reform its educational system. We're going to really find out how Egypt can through the lifelong learning process, and we're really going to find out how Egypt can through upgrading and preparing the new generation for the new future and to be fully impactful for the future. So stay tuned.
Lifelong learning and education in general are the key to prepare Egypt and its population for the future. Education is very important, and the knowledge and skills required to even cope with day-to-day operations, with the job market and so on, they are fast changing, they're evolving every day. And we need to make sure our system, our educational system, our educational regulatory system allows institutions to constantly offer what's new, to follow the developments and to follow the steps of other nations that have advanced educational system. I will specifically talk about lifelong learning because we need to adapt the concept of lifelong learning in Egypt. No one is ever too old to learn, or no one has enough knowledge to stop learning. We need to keep on learning, seeking what's new, what we don't know about. And this is an important component of the development of any nation worldwide. Getting a certificate is not the end of the road in a way. Actually, no, it's just a component that helps in someone getting maybe the right job, following a certain career, getting some level of basic skills and competencies that are needed to make this person a continuous lifelong learner. Education does not stop at receiving the certificate of the degree, and this is what all our young generation needs to understand, adopt, and believe in. They need to continue developing their skills. They need to constantly work on learning what's new. And I think the younger generation now realizes that the very fast change that is happening in technology particularly makes them perfect for adopting lifelong learning concepts. Micro-credentials is a new concept or a new maybe structure in education. A micro-credential is a very short, focused, timely educational event that targets a particular skill or competencies. So if someone wants to learn something specific, to do a specific task or a specific job, you would find a micro-credential, maybe just like 10 hours of learning that he or she can do. They can do that at their own pace. They can do that online. it's flexible, it's adaptable. So one advantage of micro-credential is that they can fill this current or existing gap between what students learn in formal education and the job requirement, the market needs. So we see a growth in that direction worldwide. So people can, beside what they do in their, or what they study in the regular programs, add on a few micro-credentials, so we can combine micro-credentials with formal education to make them acquire the skills and competencies they need to work. On the level of lifelong learning, micro-credentials comes as a very good option for everyone. If you want to maybe learn a set of skills to perform a particular job, or to be equipped to do a certain task, you just need to pick which micro-credential. You can stack them up, you can combine them to get a full credential. But this needs, of course, it needs to be validated, recognized. The quality of what is being offered needs to be monitored, and there are many nations that have already developed frameworks to recognize micro-credential and include them into formal education.
Education is very vital. It's vital for any human being, for their development, for any nation, for its development. Actually, Egypt is looking in depth on how to reform its systems, and it has a strategy in order to have a better outcome for every individual, to have a better life, not only to have a job, but also to be able to build the personality of human beings. As we know that worldwide, the developments, the digitalization, the globalizations, things are moving very fast. So maybe when what we get educated in today might not be of any help in the after 20 or 30 years. That's why within the system in Egypt now, they are looking into resilience. They are looking into developing curriculums and keep improving it, and keep looking into what's needed in the world market, in the work market, and also what's needed in order to build a human being who's stronger, who's able to deal with all the changes in the world. That's why I think Egypt goes, and different universities and schools also goes into partnership with other universities, with other schools, to learn from each other, to add to each other. And that's why collaboration is very important. By preparing every student to be able to change whenever there is needed, by acquiring the main knowledge they need in digitalization, or in adapting in how to get the knowledge on how to get leadership skills, etc., etc. So now it's not about the information, the piece of information. It's about how to get the piece of information, how to transform it, how to use it, how to have proper leadership, how to be able to adapt and resilience. Actually, in our world, whoever will survive is the person who will be able to adapt to the changes, who will be able to lead changes. And that's why I think different universities and different schools are looking into this from the very beginning, and from the K-12 years, the first 12 years, and even in university. I think that this collaboration helps the institutions, the educational institutions, to be ready to help the student to go through this. But also, it's not only the institution, it is the teacher himself, how to motivate him, how to train him. It is the society, how to make the society accept all these changes, because quite often the society is an obstacle to these changes, and they want the traditional kind of education. It's a holistic approach, I think, that Egypt is taking very seriously and is adapting.
Preparing our students to their career lives, to their future lives. The future is changing very much, and we don't know what's coming in the future. So we can prepare them with everything, with every technical detail. However, we can help them stand in front of the challenges that they can face in the future. And this was the topic of the discussion that we had today. Most of the curricula in education, whether it's at the university level or the school level, we concentrate on the technical side of the subject. We ignore, to a certain extent, the soft skill part, which is about the self-development of the students themselves, whether they are at the school level or the university level. And this is the most important thing for the future, is developing their resilience, developing their critical thinking, problem solving, standing in front of challenges. So all these are what we call the soft skills, or the human side of the subject. So what we've been doing is concentrating more on the technical side, and I believe it's now time to shift the concentration on the human development side of the subject. Lifelong learning, from the word itself, we can see lifelong learning is something that's all over your life. It doesn't end at a certain age. And making the students, or helping the students become curious about lifelong learning, is a crucial point, a crucial part of being able to face the challenges, because we can't anticipate the challenges, we can't anticipate the future. So being a lifelong learning, curious students will help them keep on changing and keep on developing their skill to keep the pace of the challenges that's happening in the future. If we're talking about the students and the Z generation, we have to talk about the technology and the different digital platforms available. And if I want to say something to this generation, I would say use the technology for your benefit. Use the technology to help you. This is my advice to the generation, although they might not like to hear advices, but the technology can be used to help and support them in their future through learning. They can listen to different aspects, different episodes that help them improve and make them ready for the future.
Lifelong learning is actually a very important statement that's been going all around the world. So how you raise a kid to become a lifelong learner, and that the learning started from early stage, and it's something that the kids get raised on it to believe that the learning it's more than the academics, that they keep learning while they are growing. So creating a framework that actually help the students to thrive and learn as they go from the early stage to schools all the way to the college students to the career, this is something very important. So bringing everyone together in order to agree on this framework will help a lot. Because nowadays you can see that the K-12 education, they are actually planning whatever they want to do to the schools separate rather than the college. And this actually led us to a gap. So when you find the high school students graduate and wants to move to the college, who will fill this gap? The students are not prepared to go to the college. And whenever they go to the college, we can see that if your parents are doctors, obviously what you become a doctor. But you see that the students after the first or second year, they try to find themselves and they start to seeing that this is not the right place for them. So what they are doing, they change. So how to avoid this? You need to have a system that help students actually to identify their talents and their skills and decide properly where they want to go. And after the college, and I think now the students are starting to see that why I have to take a college degree, why I don't go to technical school, or I go to online university and I finish my micro learnings and I build on my professional certification and I work everywhere. So having a culture of lifelong learning will help the students to continuous learning and build their skills to get better job, better life. So long learning, it's not about just getting a better job, it's also about becoming a better citizen, a better human, because when you talk about lifelong learning, it's not about academics only. It's about skills, and it's about how to deal with yourself and how to deal with others. So I believe that raising a new generation that believes in this term and to become part of their mindset and part of the thing that they even do it on daily basis, we go to reach a better educational system, and then we can reach, they say that the education is 8 to 80, so the funny thing that we have professors these days that start actually attending life development programs, and they see that it is the time for them, or it is never too late for them to develop any kind of skills. So yeah, I think lifelong learning is an important term that we need to embed and plan from the early stage up to the college. creating life-ready leaders, because you need to develop life skills and you need to develop leadership skills. And utilizing the technology and utilizing the AI, actually it will help us in achieving this vision, because how you can develop a system that will help students to learn with low cost and affordable, continuous, without utilizing the technology and the AI. So by utilizing AI and technology, we can build the systems to offer it to millions of students, so they can empower themselves by themselves. And this is something important when it comes to lifelong learning, how to educate people, how to educate themselves. So without technology, you will be limited, cost will be high, your reach will be high, especially in a big country like Egypt. How you can ensure that you can reach, we call part of our vision in reaching every child in every corner. So without technology, it's almost impossible. So technology is important in order to create the proper right platforms, and sometimes it's not only the platform, it's creating the system, because maybe technology in some area which is far on the borders, they don't have the proper technology, but you can create the system that can reach to that areas, even with physical people, that they can go, teach and deliver all these skills all around the country.
Well, dear viewers, by this we come to the end of our today's special edition of Egypt Can. We wish you did enjoy it with us. So many thanks for watching, and goodbye.